Sup everyone, I'm your female otaku and I'm here to review episode 1 of Tower of God. Now you're either feeling extremely confused or super happy because yes, this is an episode review which I have not done in 3 years, but don't get carried away. This is an April Fool's joke. I will legitimately be reviewing the episode, but I'm not gonna be continuing episode reviews or continuing to review Tower of God. If you want more of my thoughts, feel free to check out my Twitter and or Instagram, links in the description to those. But just for today, for old time's sake, I thought it would be fun to just do episode reviews for the rest of the day. With all that said, let's get started. Tower of God is the very first Crunchyroll and Webtoon anime, and what a very interesting anime it is because it's not just Crunchyroll and Webtoons on it. This is just a mixed American, Korean, and Japanese production. Amazing. We got a K-pop group doing the opening, Americans being the producers, and a Japanese and Korean staff. Holy heck. Also, Kevin Pelkin is on the OST, so bring in the Aussies. So if Tower of God may have seemed familiar to you, it's because it's been going on for an incredibly long time. And it's an incredibly popular Korean manhwa that's also on Webtoon. So if Tower of God is successful, then that's gonna be a pretty huge deal for the future of anime. But anyway, what is Tower of God about? We have our main character, Bam, whose sole purpose is to climb the Tower of God so that he can find Rachel. Rachel is a person who actually rescued Bam back in the day. He was trapped underground and was trying to climb his way out. And he was there for such a long time that his hair reached all the way down to his hips. So he really cares for Rachel because of that. Rachel even said that, "Don't worry, I am here for you." And then one day she just decides to run into the Tower of God and complete all the floors so that she can ascend or something. She mentions that she wants to be reborn. But before Bam can climb the tower, he has to go through some tests. And I don't know how many tests there are. Bam is considered a non-regular, meaning he forcefully opened the gate to enter. While we saw Rachel, she just kind of prayed, it seemed like, to or wished to compete and climb the Tower of God, so she didn't go through the tests at all. At least I'm assuming. Either that or she's just flying through these floors. Bam meets the caretaker, as he likes to refer to himself as, of the tower, known as Head-On. Head-On told Bam that for him to even enter the Tower of God, he has to go through some tests. The first test being that he has to crack open this ball that's being guarded by a steel eel. Bam mindlessly decides to run on in and crack the ball without anything on him, and gets kicked in the face by a princess. This princess is Yuri, a ginormous woman who has a bunch of weapons, one of them being a sword called, I believe they said, the Black Mark. She feels bad for Bam and also really likes his adorable face, so she decides to lend him a sword. You know what, let the kid go crazy. Bam takes that sword and decides to go full on in and gets eaten by the eel. But don't worry, he ain't dead, it's only episode 1 after all. He allows himself to get eaten by the eel so that he can attack it from the inside. This is to show that he is not afraid of dying. And once he unlocks the true powers of the sword, we see this being arise from it, and she was like, "Okay, so what do you want?" And he's all like, "Oh, I don't care about the tower, I just want to see Rachel." And she's just like, "You know what, kid, you're really boring, but because you're so small, I'm gonna help you out." This of course makes Yuri pissed because she is not small, and has now made an enemy of Bam and is going to find him so that she can get her sword back. Once the mythical being from the sword helps Bam ascend to the second test, we are then put in to a battle royale. Oh yeah. Oh, I love that. I'm wearing this yandere hat for a reason, guys. I love me some bloodshed. According to the announcer on the second test, there are 400 regulars, and they need to dwindle the numbers down to 200. We see all these different types of players, from gunmen to archers to complete barbarians, and there's people with horns, some with no eyes, some with lots of eyes. Bam seems like a pretty boring character at first, but I do think he has some potential to grow since he doesn't care about the tower and only cares for Rachel, and you know, rightfully so after what happened to him. Like, I don't want this small, boring little kid to die. Not yet, anyway. The art style of the anime is rather interesting. It kind of reminds me of those storybooks that look like paintings. Not an actual painting, because an actual painting can be a little bit more realistic. This seems a bit softer. You know, the characters don't have much shading to them. The colors are a little more flat, so their skin tone, you know, it's just their skin tone. There's no highlights anywhere. Same with their hair too. There's no extra highlights on their hair or anything like that. The background is also very pretty too, and I've noticed that if the background is purple or green, the characters will also have a purple or greenish hue. This anime certainly has me hooked, so let me know your thoughts on Tower of God. Catch me later as I review Tamayomi. I'm your female otaku. Sayonara.